Hey guys, it's Meyer Thoughts, and today I'm going to have some speculation on the new Elite series. I'm going to spend too much on each blaster and what they're about, because that information's already out online. There's the Retaliator, which is the Recon 2.0, the Rampage, which is the Raider 2.0, the Hailfire, which is the new flagship model, and the Elite Dart, which is the Streamline 2.0. The Retaliator comes with a new style stock, a new larger clip, which looks like it'll be 12 or maybe 10 darts, and a new foregrip, which looks like it's basically going to be a Stampede Bipod 2.0. The Rampage has a 25 dart drum, and then the Hailfire is the only thing that really is all that different. It looks like it's definitely going to be a flywheel blaster. It's a little hard to tell, but if you look at some other pictures of it, you can see there's a little actuator switch right there that you find on the Nitron and the Raven, so it's almost definitely going to be a flywheel blaster. It also has this little dolly with the clips in it. It looks like it's going to have 4 clips, and I honestly have no idea about this. It seems like a silly blaster, but maybe someone will find a use for it. The real interesting thing for me is you can get these 75-foot ranges out of some of the flywheel blasters that Nerf already has, but you have to really up the voltage to do it. And that means that either Nerf is shoving like 12D batteries in this, which would just be ridiculous, or they have their own internal battery, which would have to be rechargeable, which would be really cool, and I'd like that, but that would also mean that there's really no easy way to mod this, or any like feasible way to mod this new Hailfire blaster. Honestly, some of the most interesting stuff is the Elite Dart. For it to fire correctly at these 75-foot ranges, it's got to be a heavier dart, which means probably a denser foam and a denser head. The problem that I potentially see happening is that this head isn't heavy enough to offset the additional weight of the foam, and that any additional mods to these blasters is going to make them fishtail again. Now they'll be the best darts to use for any stock events, any lightly modded regular blasters, the older End Strike line for like HVZ stuff where you can't use Steffens. But I don't know. I don't see them going much farther than that. I'm sure they'll also be stupidly expensive. There'll be some sort of markup on regular darts, which is stupid. Anyway, what was I gonna go with this? Oh, so I was gonna do a little bit of speculation on kind of where this Elite series is going. Something that I've heard a lot about is I've heard some people say this is Nerf saying no more Orange Modworks, which makes a lot of sense. Um, the advertised ranges for both the new Elite series and then the Orange Modworks kits is very similar. I think Orange Modworks fully upgraded kit advertises 80 feet, and Nerf is saying 75, which is almost the same. They're using much better darts with it, and they, quite frankly, can outproduce Orange Modworks for much cheaper. They're a corporation. They have that capability. And I want to say that beating out Orange Modworks and a similar companies that might be thinking about starting up is definitely a possibility. It could definitely be on the list of things that Nerf wants their new Elite series to accomplish, but I don't think that's the reason Nerf is releasing the Elite series. I actually think that Nerf is releasing the Elite series in response to the relative success of the Exploders and Max Force lines, which are both, they're not dart blasters, they both shoot Exploders shoots like exploding water balls, and Max Force shoots like spitballs. I don't know. That's the easiest comparison for me to draw. But they both advertise like, I think their flagship models advertise. I think Exploders is like 90 feet, and I think Max Force is 100. And as far as I know, neither one has managed to incur any lawsuits. So I think Nerf has been thinking about something like the Elite series for a while, and now they're seeing these other companies who've kind of tested the waters for them. They've made it through. I don't think their sales are all that great, but they're obviously good enough that they can keep putting out new models. I've seen Exploders has just introduced a new wave of models. So I think Nerf is finally ready to take that step. I think that the 75 feet might be because they want to compete with Orange Modworks. I think had Orange Modworks not been around, I think they could have said like 60, which would have been a lot more feasible and easy to accomplish, and just left it at that. But I think that they definitely stepped their game up a little bit to deal with Orange Modworks, but I don't think that's the reason that they're putting this out at all. So that's my thoughts on that for anyone who's been wondering the same thing. The other thing I was going to touch on real quick is price point. And I think this one breaks down really simply. The target audience definitely looks like it's going to be older kids, which makes sense. But I think it expands a little bit beyond that. I think they also are just looking at older audiences in general. And I know there's a lot of people who have like Office Nerf Wars, who like the little higher power blasters, and they have some money to spend on that. Now, with that in mind, I don't think Nerf is going to go overboard. So this is kind of what I'm thinking for prices. I'm thinking Retaliator will be 35. I think Rampage will be 40, and I think the Hailfire will be 50 to 55. And I'm not quite sure on the Hailfire. The reason I'm saying this is I'm basically assuming $10 markup on similar flagships. So like the Raider is 30 in stores, the Recon's 20, and like the Stampede was hovering between 40 and 45. The reason I'm saying 35 on the Retaliator instead of 30 is because I think that $5 price point makes sense in Nerf's standpoint, so that the Retaliator doesn't compete with the Raider, the Raven, the Lumitron, which are all kind of sitting at that same price point. So if they bump it a little higher, it definitely looks like an upgrade. Whereas if they make it match the Raider, it looks like a replacement. Because I don't think Elite is a replacement for End Strike. I think it's an additional point of End Strike for like the older audience. So I think they're still gonna run like regular End Strike, and I think that they're gonna a few months later release an upgrade in the Elite for that. So that's where I see that going, and that's why I feel like the price points will be again 35, 40, and then 50 to 55. So that's kind of my thoughts. I don't know if there's a ton of more rumors going on, but if you guys know anything that I don't, let me know in the comments, because I'd like to know and check it out. Thanks for watching.